What's up, everybody? Jackson here today with my little brother Chubbz.
Hello, everyone.
Today we're doing an extended discussion on Black Ops 4 and the loot boxes that Activision snuck in after release. Now, our biggest problem with this is you see a lot of people who are familiar to the side of defending things, familiar of the side of actually doing loot box openings, like Boogie, fucking other people in that vein. I'm sure they exist, that are all just saying fuck Black Ops 4 loot boxes because it's like the thing that's getting viewed, right?
Yeah.
So when that happens, you have this situation where you start watching these videos and you start listening to these people's opinions, and that becomes abundantly apparent. If you listen to that video of Boogie talking shit on these loot boxes, he talks about how Black Ops 3 loot boxes were okay. He talks about how Apex Legends loot boxes are okay. He gives his own watered down bullshit fucking stance of an opinion. There's no learning from this type of person and these type of people.
Right.
Because they're still buying these games day one. They're still patronizing these loot boxes by buying them. They're still fucking uploading YouTube videos of them opening these loot boxes and being shared by tons of people, and then those people open them, and then you've got this entire, like, that kid who commented on our video that it flagged as spam. The whole reason he commented was, hey guys, I opened up a loot box, I did a loot box video too.
Yeah.
So out of curiosity, I go click on it, 13 views. So even these dumbasses at the very bottom, they're justifying it to themselves because they're like, I'm gonna make a video out of it. And then I'll make money off of it because look at these fuckers. They're making money off of it. And it's this problem. Another problem I perceive personally with like why these games are selling day one to so many people. I mean, Fallout 76, 1 million people bought that game.
Oh, yeah.
At least 1 million people. Who knows how many people bought it after the price drop that happened a week later? Who knows how many people bought it then? Who knows how many people have continually bought it since it's gone on sale? But because by all accounts, if you can get this for $20-$30, it's not a horrible deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't change the fact that the game's fucking fundamentally broken in several ways.
Well, essentially, you will get your money's worth out of it, depending on how much time you put into the game. But even then, I guess it doesn't matter because, you know, there was that whole guy who got banned for having too much ammo for 900 hours of gameplay in this game. Like,
this guy had played Fallout 76 for so long that he had accrued such a high amount of ammo that Bethesda straight up said there's no way he could have acquired that amount of ammo without duping or fucking cheating.
Yeah, without exploiting.
Without using one of the exploits that we, the company who developed and made the game, left within the game.
Yeah.
At that point, it's not an exploitation. It's taking advantages of the mechanics available to you in the game. All right? If the developers can't work out that, oh, if I equip this that gives me bonus carry limit over and over and over again, my fucking weight carry limit continually increases. That's not the player's fault. Any fucking person in that position would do that. I would do that.
I would do
You
that
mean I
too.
can carry more shit in a game that's all about carrying shit? Yes, I will do this exploit. And it's not even an exploit. It's a fucking mechanic afforded to the player of the game by the game. Now, whether or not the developers intended it to happen or not is a moot fucking point.
Stupid. Yeah.
It's a moot point
Yeah.
because it's happened.
Yeah. But that's the thing about Fallout 76, you know, and that's like, even though it got critically panned and all these people were pissed off, and you know, you have Joseph Anderson, that video was fucking crazy to watch, like 2 hours worth of just bugs
It
and
was like
glitches.
3 hours, dude.
Yeah.
I actually looked at it. It was 2 hours and 58 fucking minutes,
Yeah,
dude. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, you know, but it's still justified its release. It isn't a
because
complete
it sold
bomb.
a million copies.
Yeah, exactly.
And another thing you see, which I was touching on earlier, a huge problem, because it's not just loot boxes, okay? Like, I know the majority of people who are buying these games day one aren't participating in the microtransactions. But that's not the point. They have a fucking 3-stage plan, 3-stage in the case of games like Destiny, that have DLC. So this is their plan. They get the day one sell money. Then within that pool of people, they throw out that psychological net. They hook all of the people who are wanting to buy these things, time skips, skins, all of loot boxes, all of this shit, they scoop them up and put them to the side, and then that's stage 2 of income, because now those guys are dedicatedly throwing however much a paycheck for this one live service game, because they probably came from the fucking mobile market where they were playing games on their phones, decided to get a PS4, now they got access to Destiny. Compared to mobile games, Destiny's miraculous.
Oh yeah.
If that's the mindset of where you're coming from, your experience in games is from mobile, tablet, fucking free-to-play, PC, just dinky games.
On-the-go games.
Destiny is fabulous. The grind seems much less aggressive than in a game like Candy Crush or King of Thrones or whatever the fuck.
Clash of Clans.
That's what it is.
Or
King of
fucking
Thrones.
Fallout Shelter. I don't care. You name it. It's got some sort of fucking tricky way of making you want to play, because these games are intentionally built for the mobile phone.
That's it. That second stage, there's a lot of focus being put into that second stage of income. There's a lot of people being hired whose express purpose it is to make addictive gameplay loops.
Yep.
They don't know about games. They don't know how to code. All they understand is the human mind and its addiction, its addictive capabilities, and how to exploit those in order to get someone who's unaware that that's what's happening. Completely unaware. I mean, it's the same as mugging a motherfucker and taking their wallet. Right? I'm not saying it's not the same.
No.
But that's a good
But
metaphor.
still, yeah.
Because these kids are walking into this teen-rated game with this lack of experience in the world, a lack of understanding on how games should be. So it's no wonder that they're like, this is fine. It's fine. And it's no wonder that they get addicted to it to the point where they're uploading videos for their friends. Their friends are watching their videos and then uploading their videos. Mm-hmm. And it's this circle of fucking income that's just going to the fucking company. That's where it's not helping the games. It's not being added on to development in the further games. You know that from Destiny, the amount of money they made, and then the fucking content that they sold after they said they were giving it away.
Oh yeah.
Right? So, but the huge problem is that a number of these people that are buying these games day one. Before I get into that, stage 3 is obviously DLC, expansion passes, things of that nature.
After the microtransactions,
yes. Yeah, and the microtransactions don't necessarily have to be randomized. There's microtransactions in Fallout 76 that aren't fucking randomized. You can pick what you want.
Yeah.
And people are going to buy those. People are going to buy Anthem's microtransactions. People are going to spend money to make their character look different in Anthem. It's going to happen. And that's that second group of people, when traditionally with a game like The Witcher 3 you only have the two fucking income streams.
Yeah, the two
you got your
stages.
day one sales, then you got your expansion pass, which is legitimate expansion pass with shit that expands upon the base version of the game in a huge big bad way, not only through mechanics and updates there with the reworking the way everything works to make it feel more comfortable, more smoothed out. All sorts of updates went into that game. That game is not the same game I played day one.
Yeah.
After that, you get these huge expansion passes, fucking Blood and Wine, and what was the other one? Hearts of Stone, with completely new, long, 2-hour plus narratives of main story, plus all the side quests, plus all the side locations added to the game. Blood and Wine is just as big as Velen.
Oh yeah.
Just as vast as Velen. And you could probably include Novigrad in that too, as part of what is available in Blood and Wine.
Oh yeah. Especially with how many quests are crammed
so
in there.
why is a game like The Witcher 3 so good, so memorable, so worth the dollar? Well, it's because Stage 2 never came into effect during the development of the game.
Yeah.
See, Stage 2 wasn't intended, planned, or anything at all. The only bit of thing they had for Stage 2, which Stage 2 is usually about this hook of getting the player continually logging in to increase, your number of players.
To increase the replayability. You know what I mean? To have the person continually logging on and playing.
Yeah,
it. But
I wouldn't say it's replayability.
Well, that's the thing, is it's player retention. And
yeah,
instead
it's
of having
it's a psychological hook.
Yeah, but with the case of Witcher and CDPR, instead of having the loot box or microtransaction mechanic
or
doing
weekly
that
rewards
for them,
and daily login rewards,
instead of doing that, they made it more of a narrative thing,
yeah, well, they added quests. They added quests periodically during the first few months of release that were happening as I was in my playthrough, And I was not even finished playing the game because I was still exploring and doing shit. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, there's a new quest over there. So then I'd go do that, and that would lead me into something new that I hadn't explored or something else. And it was like, it was very cool how they did that.
Right.
And I feel like that's the key difference in all these games, is stage 2 fucking ruins the game at a core level. And I think on a subconscious, on a level, everyone knows that.
Oh yeah.
Everyone can see it happen. They've seen the quality of their favorite franchises take a dive because of phase 2 of monetization. We've seen it in so many games. But the problem is that above that is this need to be someone who buys it day one and gets a video out as soon as possible so you can talk a shit about it in this rush that I've been a party to, you've been a party to. Early on in my channel, this was something I wanted to do. I realized 2 things during the course of this. The first thing was when I did my review of No Man's Sky. I felt, and Dark Souls 3, I might add. There were 2 reviews that I felt very about.
Right.
I felt very about because I didn't take the time to formulate a better opinion about this game.
Right.
I didn't wait until I was sure that the way I feel now is the way I should feel. And it's because of this example. No, it was all about, I'm going to get this game as soon as possible so I can do a fucking review on it so I can get the views, because that's how you do it.
And therefore, you're not spending as much time in the game as you would if you wanted to, like, go in informed.
Because you're forcing your way through it.
Yeah, if you're informing yourself on the game, you're, like, taking your time, spending upwards of, like, 40 to 80 hours trying to get a feel and a good grip of the game, you know what I mean?
And you see this with a lot of mainstream reviews, where you see their review and you can tell that it's a rush to get it out the door, and it doesn't fit the overall, like, user base opinion of that game.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you look at, like, the gamers reviews, like Carrick, Angry Joe, these are men that take their time, that have experience playing numerous genres, numerous titles. They're very well articulated. They're able to express what they mean about the game when they mean it. Mm-hmm. They're non-reactionary. I'm not going to say that Angry Joe won't upload a rant, but every time he does, it doesn't feel like it's just reactionary without base. Right. It feels like he is making a genuine fucking point.
He is experiencing this and ranting about it because it pissed him off so much, instead of like, oh, Reddit says that this is a bad
yeah, exactly.
I better go on and fucking, you know.
Oh, they snuck in fucking... Dude, they snuck in goddamn loot boxes into Destiny 1, which Boogie bought a fucking collector's edition of the Forsaken edition after he'd already purchased the fucking...
the Taken King
Taken
edition.
King, whatever, same
and he
fucking
did a box unopening video like, hey guys,
and
I just got this
and
video.
And that was before he did his unboxing of Destiny 1 Day 1 collector's edition.
Yeah.
If you are someone who bought Destiny 1 Day 1 collector's edition and you experienced the content, you experienced the changes and the mindfuckery that went on with that fucking goddamn release, all the way up to the Taken King where they cut off the fucking player base and said, give us 40 more fucking dollars or you don't get content that you had yesterday. When they did that, if you're someone who bought the goddamn collector's edition of the fucking Forsaken edition of Destiny 1, go fuck yourself, you fake, fat, phony fuck. Go fuck yourself, Boogie. Fuck you, dude. And more people need to tell him that.
Oh, yeah.
More people need... Because you know what? It's like that Anita Sarkeesian thing.
Yeah, you need to have a fucking intelligent thought, right? You need to think for your fucking self. You can't just sit there and think, oh, there's 2 different opinions in the crowd tonight. What am I gonna do? If I go with one, I'm fucked because the other one hates me, but if I go with them, I'm fucked because the other people hate me.
Because that's what he is.
You can't please everybody.
He is like a gelatinous blob of appeasement. Yep. That's what he is. He doesn't want to offend anyone. Look, motherfucker, I'm sorry, but when you say something, you're offending someone somewhere because people are fucking babies. And Boogie proves that more than anyone. Oh, my depression. Oh, my depression. I used to be suicidal. Then fucking shut up and do it. And that sounds fucked up, and I'm sorry, and I would not genuinely...
do it. I would say fucking change your life. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
true.
I'm fucking depressed all the time. I've been suicidal before, and you know what? In those dark times of my life, guess what? I fucking changed shit.
Yeah.
I've actually taken the time to evaluate what is going on and fucking change things for the
And the
better.
vast difference is you don't put that out there and make entire videos about how you sad time and baby wham wham.
And that's another thing.
You don't use it to inform your opinions on
You
things.
don't sit there and fucking pity me. I'm a victim. Oh, but
Exactly.
my
And that's
opinion,
what Boogie
you know.
does.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Boogie does.
People do it all the time. They pity me because they think it makes their voice hold
I swear
more
to
weight.
God. I swear to God, if I had $10 for the time, for every fucking time in my life, someone has unexpectedly, what's the word? Initiatedly, I without doing anything,
without
just being
prompting?
there, existing, had someone just unload the woes of their life and all of the problems going on in their head right onto my fucking hand, right into my hands.
It's just like
Stop.
vomiting emotions
Stop.
that can't be fucking contained or controlled.
There's someone who that's meant for, and it isn't strangers online. It isn't strangers in your day-to-day life. It's not those people. Don't put that shit on those people, because I feel like when you do that, it shows me that you're very arrogant and narcissistic.
It compromises the integrity
I
of
feel
your
like
fucking...
it's incredibly narcissistic to dump your problems on people without having enough self-awareness to understand that they're probably going through that shit too.
Another thing is, it's narcissism, like you said, and another thing... Oh, fuck,
It's narcissism.
Oh, yeah.
It's social media.
Well, another thing is
it's
it
this
compromises the integrity of your opinion, because if you're immediately going out there saying this shit, you're doing it for A, to, you know, like, have people feel bad for you, but 2, because you think that those people who feel bad for you are gonna, like, there's gonna be more weight in what you're saying. Like, your opinion's gonna carry more weight because, you know, you've explained your own personal background.
It's a fucking bubble that's it's that fucking Buddha box from South Park, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it is, man. You see only you see only your problems. So much to the extent that, like, there's people in families that don't understand that, like, they're all struggling, but it's like this separate thing where, like, it's just, you see it all the time. Like, just, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm focused at.
Oh, yeah.
And what is the mental awareness, mental health, all of this shit. Jim Sterling bitches about it. I let it go. I let it go because I'm like, man, if I was that fucking fat, I'd be depressed too. But guess what? At a certain point, you have to realize that, dude, everyone's fucking depressed. All right? The fucking thing you have to do with that is put it in your goddamn chest and work it out in your own goddamn time. You don't make it affect your decision when you're talking about Black Ops loot boxes. You don't let it inform your decision when you're talking about firing Bobby Kotick. Okay? Your personal emotional shit should always come second.
Yes.
What should come first is critical goddamn fucking thinking.
Yes.
So you look at this situation, you say, well, what has happened since these things were first introduced in Overwatch? Jim should know this. Jim should understand this. And if he didn't either A, have a different fucking objective with his videos, or B, wasn't emotionally attached to his ideology, he would be the first to come out and say, they're here, they're staying, because all of you fucking people bought them and kept buying them, and you keep buying these games trying to be the day one reviewer, so you're throwing these money into these games day one, you're giving into the hype of the marketing, which is eating up a huge portion of development costs, might I add. Marketing is eating up a huge portion of development costs. It's almost more about selling something cool, and I mean, think of how much Crackdown 3's development suffered from having to pay Terry Crews. I'm not gonna say I hate Terry Crews. I'm just like, he's a funny guy. He's a great actor.
He's really talented.
How much did it cost to put him in that game? How much did it cost to put him on the tour of, like, promoting the game at E3 and doing all these things? How much did it cost to hire the people to decide what he should say in order to promote it? How many, you know, and if you take all that money, you funnel it into Crackdown 3, you're going to have a much better game. Because it's got more money and resources dedicated to what actually fucking matters. The fucking video games.
Oh, yeah. Well, another thing that kind of bugs me about this is it's like, the only thing that you could say about, like, loot boxes is, okay, so in the early days when there were these arguments happening, you had two thoughts of people, right? They shouldn't exist. Don't put them in video games because I think that they're bad and unethical. Or, you know, they're good, they're okay, they're only cosmetic, But, like, I've always felt like I didn't belong to either one of these, and I know you did too.
Yeah, dude, no.
Because, like, what we've stated in the past is, okay, you want to have these systems? Sure. Rate your game M.
Yeah, that's
Put
what I'm
it as
saying.
mature. You know, we don't care.
That's the thing. I do not think that children who may have shitty parents should have access to these sorts of things.
Well, it's like
and
a
I
casino.
know that's
It's
like playing daddy or whatever, but
no,
I
no.
don't.
It's like a casino. If you're walking in, you're 13 years old and you're in Vegas and you're with your parents and your parents have to walk through a casino or like they're going on the casino floor. Guess what? You're not allowed.
Yeah.
You're 13 years old. You know what I mean? I don't know for sure because there is like
There is
a guardian
you're
can give
allowed.
permission.
But there's certain areas.
Yes.
But you're not gambling. You're not touching anything.
Exactly.
Your hands are in your
and
pockets.
a lot of it is based off of like permission from the parents. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you could go see an R-rated movie if you're with your parents because your legal guardian is giving you permission to do that.
I think R-rated movies are less harmful than loot boxes. At least R-rated movies, if they're done well, can inspire imagination within the child. At least, and if they're not overly violent and the kid is able to handle it, they can inspire all sorts of like just creative outlets. Like, man, that's fake. That's fake, but it looks so real. And that's the thing. I want to know how they did that.
Yeah.
I want to figure
You
it
get
out.
special effects, makeup
You know, and then
artists growing up watching these violent movies, being like, I want to do that for a living.
And then you get these classic fucking horror movies. You get these classic like adult comedies with like edgy dialogue that's funny and in the time frame of what it is, like Mallrats. You may hate Mallrats, but that dialogue is fucking excellent.
Oh yeah. But bringing it back to like the video game rating, realistically though, like by me saying this, I am also going to throw it out there that I know it's not going to exist. And you know why? Because the people who are rating video games are getting paid by the video game industry.
Yes, it's a self-regulatory board.
Yeah, and I'm not
kind
gonna...
of like the MPAA, which is also got their head up their fucking ass.
Exactly. And I'm not going to be out here being like, oh, the government should step in. No, because I think that the government is inept at their job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm also saying that having a company that is paid by the industry that they are rating, that's like... they're compromising the integrity of the ratings. We see it all the time. We see it with fucking movies nowadays.
There should be no game.
All these things.
There should be zero games.
It should be
that are rated teen that have loot boxes in them.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
I agree.
You might call me that's like suppressing something or a dickhead move. No. You're an adult. You're not even an adult at 17. But I'd say at least at 17, you're a little bit smarter, a little more wary. I don't think that 13-year-olds should be playing a game like Overwatch with that sort of monetary system.
Yeah.
I don't think they should because, A, their attention span is much easier to appease. That's why we see a game like Fortnite is hugely popular, but it's mainly between 13 through 25. Right? It's like a certain age group.
Right.
It's because their attention span is easier. They're less likely to want to feel challenged with new things. It's like this gameplay loop of drop me in there, get random fucking pickups out around the map, fight, 98 or 98, is it 99
I think
or
it's 99?
Either way, fight however many other people to try to hit the last spot. That simple gameplay loop is enough to net billions amongst this demographic.
Oh yeah.
Okay? And it also has loot pinatas in it.
Yep.
Which are bullshit, and you need to get rid of those. Epic. At least they have a list of what you can get in them before you buy it.
Right.
And Epic's doing a lot of good shit. And that's its own video, but Epic's doing a lot of good shit. But still, that's why we see those numbers in a game like Fortnite. That's why we see numbers like billion year on microtransactions from games like, or companies like Activision with their Destiny and their Overwatch games. This is why we see those numbers. Is because this demographic is appeased by less.
Yes.
And they're more likely to give into these mechanics because their minds are so young and so impressionable that you're able to not only hook them on a simple gameplay loop, but now you're also able to hook them on a gameplay loop because it's gameplay. Mm-hmm. The act of purchasing loot boxes and opening them are gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
That's pathetic.
Oh yeah.
That's pathetic to me. That constitutes a gameplay video. And if you think about it, it is. It's mechanics in the game. It's actions that you as the player must take in the game by clicking open it, accepting the items, clicking open the next loot box, equipping those loot boxes. This is a huge portion of gameplay that went to stream number 2 of revenue. Mm-hmm. And if stream number 2 of revenue is successful, it's not going away. That's why you see Activision put them in Destiny 1. That's why you see them sneak them into Black Ops 4. Activision isn't a dumb company. They're not stupid. They will look at the bottom line of everything that they have under their umbrella, and the games that the consumers and the gamers patronize the most with cash and time are going to be the vast focus of the company. That's why you get Diablo Immortal before you get Diablo 4.
Yep.
That's why you get Overwatch with all of its loot boxes and shit instead of the first-person MMORPG that it was supposed to be. Because Activision decided that Blizzard shouldn't compete with Destiny and Bungie. We already have that.
Why are we competing with each other?
Exactly. And all of these games, in turn, end up focusing heavily on
the microtransaction system or egregious post-monetization systems where you're ending up spending $200 to $300 in the case of Destiny before you get the finished product, and even then it wasn't even worth it in my opinion in the case of Destiny 1, because at the end of it, when Destiny 2 launched, they were like, oh, by the way, we're going to raise the light level on all the raids and all the content. So really, the only point to go play Destiny was at that point where all of the content was actually fucking worth it.
At the very end of the game's life cycle.
Exactly.
And that's another thing where you were talking before we started about how the games media is a huge part of this. I was talking about the day one reviewers and the YouTubers that have 10 subscribers that are getting 3 views per review, but those cats are still throwing down $60, $80, $90 day one for the most expensive edition of these games.
Yes.
Because they believe that they can do it. They believe that they can get a review out that'll change the fucking world. And it's like...
And I'm not going to say that you can't, but what I'm saying is you got to take the time.
Yeah.
And you gotta fucking be a free-thinking individual. You have to have a passion for fucking video games.
Well, it's like when I was gonna do Red Dead 2, I watched Angry Joe's video on it, and I watched Jim Sterling's video on it, and then I bought the game. I didn't intend to do a full-scale review. That's why I didn't. I just said, okay, well, here's things that I noticed that Jim or Joe had complained about, or things that they had said, and it's a good point or whatever, and I'm going to do. And then I had within that, while I was playing it, I had these own little micro subjects that I wanted to cover.
Right, like
such
mini
as the horse
criticisms
care system.
Or
not
praise,
even. The horse care system, I really dug that bond.
Right.
That legit, it was a bond, you know what I mean, that you formed with your horse throughout that playthrough. I really liked... I thought about doing one on the mission structure, but I really can't rebut the other side of the argument. I can only put forth my side and say that these structured missions aren't that bad, because I feel like they did a great job of with the set pieces where they took place. Like, I mean, at one point you're riding down a hill with like a war tribe of Indians, and you're riding into this fucking camp all cavalry style, shooting horseback, and there's a line of you, and Dutch is there, and it's just like Micah and all your cat, and it's just ooh, like that part. And or there's another mission with Charles and the Eagles Fly, the son. You were like, actually you had to escape canoe down a river, and it's like you're going down the river trying to canoe, and you have to steer as well as shoot at guys that are running around the riverbank. And it's like, so like I thought about doing one on that, but at the end of the day, I just like, I don't care. I think that it's kind of self-evident. Yeah. It's kind of a self-evident thing. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. And I think that there's a reason you enjoy it, and you could articulate it the same way I could.
Exactly.
You know, I felt like they set the stage very well. There were things happening throughout the fight and dialogue going back and forth that I was engaged not only in the action, but also the story, which is not something I could say for games like Destiny and, by everything I've seen, Anthem. Yeah. Borderlands, where you're just in the action and they're just saying something. Yeah. And you don't know what they're saying.
And you're just like, cool, that was the story? Yeah. I don't feel like I digested enough of that to feel like I warranted knowing.
And there was a difference, is because there was these periods before the mission that people are complaining is structured and less open-ended, and that's true. That's a fair argument. But there was this build-up to each one of those missions that made those missions incredibly satisfying. You'll see, we got Chubbz a copy of it.
I'm going to be playing that after I beat Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah. And I'm getting to the end of that. But bringing it back to like...
Yeah, the journalists.
Your argument with these majority of people playing these games are like between the ages of 13 and 25, right? Well, another thing is how how overwhelmingly misinformed the majority of people who play video games are. Because they are being sold the hype, like you said, with this marketing machine, which is also tied into the games journalism.
All you have to do right now, okay,
publications.
I'm sorry to interject this, but this is such a good point. All you have to do right now is look at your favorite YouTuber, look at their Twitter page, and if they're bitching about Fortnite taking away ads because YouTube is letting it show up on fucking pedophiles' fucking videos, if you're someone who's complaining about that, that's your demographic. And you have the biggest responsibility to those people. So people like Boogie, who has that audience, because he's bitching about it. Oh, some pedophiles are sharing porn, so Fortnite and Epic Games did the right goddamn thing and said you won't have any more of our ad revenue, YouTube, Google, until you fucking solve this shit and get this filth off of your fucking website.
Yeah.
But Boogie's I'm gonna make a little less money this month. That seems like an overreaction. It's pedophilia, fucker.
Yeah.
There is no overreaction.
There is an infection in the overall body that is YouTube, and Google refuses to fucking cut it out. It's like having a tumor in your brain, and the doctor is like, it's operatable.
Channels like ours that are very loud, very boisterous, and say the fuck what is on our mind, and use words as fucking words, right? Just a word is all these things are. We're like tossed into like, oh, unless you want to support mature rated content, you're not going to fucking get ads on this video. And we're going to filter you out of the vast majority of YouTube who probably needs to wake up and hear your fucking voice. We're going to stuff you in the corner. But this pedophilia shit, that can be found from fucking the homepage of YouTube with 4 fucking clicks.
Yep.
Right? God damn it. Right, Epic, pull your ads.
Yes.
We ain't seeing any of that money.
Thank you. I will say
we don't have the demographic that Epic Games is advertising to.
Yeah, I will say
so
thank
fuck them.
you.
Pull them.
There is a huge there is a fucking bunch of creeps out there, like with the Minecraft and the pedophilia ring there, and it's like these are games where they are marketing and
I'm sure they're in Fortnite
for young kids. Oh yeah, in Fortnite especially,
because it is for those young kids.
Exactly. You know, and Minecraft especially so because it's even more for the young kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that shit pisses me off.
It's fucking disgusting.
You need to fucking get rid of these people.
These
pedophiles have no place in society.
So I can't remember his name. I'll kick a link to it below. Austin shared it on Twitter. I'll kick a link to this video. If this dude can figure this out and just find this, what the fuck is the problem with all of the people that work for you, Google? You're huge now. You should be able to handle this. Right? And the thing is that you need to stop like trying to make these arbitrary fucking adjustments, dude. You need to work out an algorithm that really listens to what people are saying.
Yes.
Okay? Because like, yeah, we swear, but we are just fine for you to let your 15-year-old kid who's been addicted to Fortnite and playing this thing and doesn't understand why he can't stop buying loot pinatas, playing Overwatch, can't understand why he can't play loot boxes. He needs to be listening to us way the fuck over Boogie. Way the fuck over Boogie. But Boogie has 4.3 million subscribers, and he's gonna fucking complain because he doesn't have enough fucking ad revenue this month because fucking Epic Games and Fortnite is trying to stomp out fucking pedophile YouTube videos and channels? Motherfucker, I swear to God, if I ever meet you, we're gonna have words. And I'm gonna speak really loudly with mine.
Yeah. But I mean, bringing it back to what I was saying before, like the big problem is with the journalists and the marketing machine and how they are misinforming these young kids and these people in between 13 and 25 who are playing games who, like you brought up earlier, probably grew up playing shit on the mobile phone.
Well, they all have phones now.
Yeah, and like not everybody has a console.
What do our nephews play on the most?
Phones.
Their phones.
They're playing
and
phones.
They're great. They're games that don't require a lot of microtransactions. There's a whole subset of games on mobile that are actually like, I mean, yeah, they're basic as fuck. You can run
emulators on that shit too.
Like,
so
they're
it's
basic
like, that's what
they're
I always
basic
did.
games. They have that same sort of grind where you feel like you're spending time in it. but it has a lot of action. It's not overly aggressive with their microtransactions. Like, I had a discussion with Dave about it. But either way, he's like, we're controlling what they're playing on their phone. When they play like Roblox or Minecraft, we have all the adult settings set up so they're not getting chat with people. We have a timer set up so they can only play it for a certain amount of time each day.
Yeah.
That's only after they do their homework. This is what you need to do. Other parents aren't doing this.
No.
Other parents aren't cool as fuck like my sister and her husband. All right? Other parents are just like, here's a fucking phone. Here's unlimited access to Google. And by the way, here's my fucking account information.
Yeah.
Okay? So when this little kid is sitting there watching his Harry Potter character get choked the fuck out, he's got access to mommy's credit card. He turns it over. Right? Do they get mad? No. They probably have a fucking allowance for it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They probably have like, you have this much each month that you can spend on shit
Yeah.
that you want to spend it on.
Mm-hmm. And that's the type of shit where it's like, okay, so we have this entire group of gamers who are not only gamers because it's popular and it's huge and it's trending. You've got fucking the Wall Street Journal and Forbes talking about games now. Okay, so we're going to just sit there and throw that out there. And then we're going to throw out the fact that these games are being overbloated in the marketing department. There's actually more money going into selling the hype than there is into developing the fucking game that the hype is behind.
Like, some of these games have double the budget for development involved in marketing of some way. Yeah,
but then on top of that, you throw...
fucking disgusting.
But then on top of that, you throw in the fact that the industry is not only paying for the ratings, they're paying for the fucking journalists to cover it, they're paying for the E3 game show. Every single person at E3...
Well, what they're doing is they're paying for ad space on the website where the journalists are talking about it. They're also sending special copies that have special bonuses, like the canvas bag that influencers got that regular customers didn't get, but you bet your ass Game fucking Informer got one. You bet your ass someone over at fucking PC Gamer got one.
I don't give a fuck if it's in the form of a gift or cash.
Well, either way, it's the same thing that happens with the movie
integrity...
industry with these junkets, where they bring the press out to a fancy hotel, they pay for the room, they give them unfettered access to the fucking... I'm sure some of it's fettered. I'm sure they're like, don't ask them about this, don't ask them about this. Right. Either way, but they have these posh, big fucking parties. They throw all of these gift bags at these motherfuckers, and then guess what? They really liked the movie, and it's Suicide Squad or something like that, right? And that's what it is. It's this clear, like, tit for tat, give and take. Here's a gift bag full of fucking Fallout 76 merch, shirts, all sorts of shit for you to give your fucking, whoever reviews this game, here's all this shit for them.
And then on top of that, you throw in the fact that all of these people who are reporting on this shit, they have to get it out now.
Yep, it's gotta happen now. It's gotta happen now.
They don't have fucking time to spend 80 hours in a fucking video game unless you're fucking buying Overwatch loot boxes and getting an entire collections and spending thousands and thousands of dollars. Well, that's why
they're consistently wrong about games like Destiny. They're consistently wrong about these games of service as a day one thing because they play them and they play through this amount of them. And then before they hit the point where everything they just did now becomes the end game. Yeah. And that was it only took you 12, 13 hours to get there.
But all of this is a lethal concoction for where we are now in the games industry.
And what is the cause of it? Is it evil devil capitalism? No, because is it Bobby fucking Kotick?
The worst that you could say it is customers aren't informed and they are spending a ludicrous amount in microtransactions, whether they know better or not. This is why. They are the ones to blame. Now, is there corruption? Yeah.
Yeah, it's obvious, but it's not concealed.
But it's not like there isn't information out there for you to know. It's like people who hated B. Dobbins and Yang Ye when they were first talking shit on Destiny. Yeah. And then Destiny 2 came out and they were like, oh my god, you guys are right. It's like, well, no shit, they were right because they took time to become informed on the subject and then they fucking told you all what was gonna happen.
Well, not only that.
Then it happened!
Here's the thing. I don't think Yang Yi is on the same level as B. Dobbins.
Here's what that separates... That is a perfect example of people who being misinformed only to find out that information that was out there prior...
That they watched, they looked at, they hated on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like the
Yang Yi, hold on.
Okay.
Yang Yi should not be compared to B. Dobbins. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
B. Dobbins is on another level.
Granted, I've never watched
Yang Yi.
I only say
Yang
that.
Yi regurgitates Reddit threads
Yeah.
and people's opinions on
Yeah.
Reddit. That's what Yang Yi does.
Honestly, I don't know because I've never watched him, but I just remember watching that video where this guy was like adamantly defending Bungie and Destiny 1, only to later talk shit and be like, oh, you guys, I thought you guys are just haters, but you're totally right.
Yeah.
You were right all along. It's like, well,
But
no
the
shit.
difference was where B. Dobbins' opinion came from was his experience with the Halo franchise,
Right.
his experience with Destiny 1.
And that's
years
why-
later, it's easy for Yang Yi to go on Reddit and look at the fucking
Yeah.
Destiny subreddit
Well, that's
and
why-
see B. Dobbins peoples and see all these peoples telling them what the fuck
Well,
is going
that's
on.
why I'm not informed on the subject
That's
of Yang
Yang
Yi.
Yi.
I've never watched
That is
it.
Yang Yi.
But
Yang Yi
regardless-
is a Reddit thread regurgitator.
Regardless,
that is Yang Yi.
regardless, the information is out there. It's not like this shit isn't allowed to the public or that there aren't people that are covering this and reporting it. It's
see what you're
just
saying,
that
yeah.
people are more adamantly.
They don't
It's like they're
want to know.
intentionally. They're intentionally misinformed
It's
at a
easy.
certain point.
Well, fuck yeah. Yeah. When Boogie, Jim Sterling have the audience they have, and they come out and they say, don't worry, guys, none of this shit is on you people that spent all of this money on these games day one, spent all the money on these microtransactions. It's all at the fault of this one man who's the CEO, Bobby Kotick. It's his fault.
Yeah.
You know, he fired non-developers, he hired developers. He fired non-developers, he hired Stepien from fucking Witcher 3. But it's his fault.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I want to get to at the end of this video. You done? You good?
Yeah, I'm done. That's a perfect way to end it because, like, I don't think it's his fault. If anything, he's doing good.
Yeah. So you're done?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's making money. He's doing his job. Let us know down below what you guys think. Black Ops 3 loot boxes. Black Ops 3 sneaking loot boxes in. Tell us what you think. Is it egregious? Is it overreaching? Yeah, but is it unexpected to you, really? When you look at what they've been doing the past several fucking years. Anyway, that's it for us. Love you guys. Till next time, stay safe, stay awesome, keep kicking fucking ice.